Bare necessity, but simple bare necessity. Bare necessity, but simple bare necessity.
Hey there, it's Reaver and welcome to today's video where I'm going to kind of do a wrap-up sort of thing. There is a weird shadow on my face. Let's see how far I can turn this way. Okay, yeah, much better, much better. Okay, so normally in my wrap-ups for the past year, I've been doing quarterly wrap-ups and I've been giving you stats. I have no stats at this moment at all because I haven't kept up with it at all. I started the year expecting to read a ton and like come out of my reading slump. I did not. It may not be 100% accurate, but it is showing me that I completed 5 books in January, 5 in February, and 5 in March, which means that my total for quarter 1 was 15. Speculative first. Thornhinge by T. Kingfisher. This is my 3rd T. Kingfisher book, and I had a good time with it. I think that it was an interesting take on the story. I liked the kind of flipping this narrative on its head and making it more different than I feel like a lot of the other retellings have done. Mislaid with Parts Half Known by Shauna McGuire. This was the next Wayward Children book and I thought it was good. I like that it brought the previous book more full circle and made it make more sense within the series. That was kind of frustrating to me about the previous one, was that it felt like very out of place, but this one kind of like brought those things. Okay, this book kind of brought those things all together a bit better. I'm sorry, Maura is being dramatic in there. But this kind of pulled it together. My only real complaint, I guess, with this one is the fact that it's giving dinosaur, except for it's not really about the dinosaur world. They're not there for hardly at all. They're just there for a very brief period of time in the story, so I feel like that is a bit misleading. However, in general, this had some really good arcs and some really good closure to some of the elements of the previous one, and also opened up like this whole new thing of like what's to come and things like that, and I just think that it was a good installment. White Stag by Cara Barbary. Court of goblins in charge, and then there's these lands outside of the Goblin Kingdom. The Goblin Kingdom is called Permafrost, and it's like as you would expect that to be. But the Goblin King, every time the Goblin King has to be replaced, there's this, like, what do you call it? Hunting competition, so to speak, to kill the White Stag, and whoever kills the White Stag becomes the next Goblin King. Janake, she has to go with her now Goblin owner, I guess, Soren. I can't remember the terms. They're not coming to me. But she has to go with him on the hunt. He makes her come with, which is not normal for the goblin to do that. So yeah, but it really, the whole world kind of like opens up a lot more, and the magic is very enjoyable. I enjoyed the world a lot. It was a fun world to be in. Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. Okay, I heard a lot of people that liked book 1 were like meh about book 2. I was not that. I had an excellent time. I enjoyed myself a lot. I still loved it. I don't feel like this series is 100% cozy fantasy. It's like a cusp of the cozy fantasy and regular like fantasy. Like it's kind of in that in-between zone to me. Humbly speaking, from my own perspective, because we do have life or death situations that are pretty intense, and we also have like, while we have cozy moments, it's not like we're not going Legends and Lattes. Like Legends and Lattes is one level of cozy. This is a different level of cozy, and I think that a lot of people misunderstand that. Life, the Universe, and Everything by Douglas Adams, and also So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, also by Douglas Adams. My camera just started doing something weird, so hopefully everything's fine. The Haunting of Alejandra, I have mixed feelings on this one. I did not love all the choices of this. And it does villainize religion. I do appreciate the representation of depression and suicidal thoughts. I feel like it really encapsulated some of that well, and the intrusive feeling of some of those thoughts and experiences. And I love that it tackled the generational trauma in a magical way. I think that it did a lot of things well. There were just, like I said, a few things because of the religious aspects and how it kind of played those that I didn't love. And again, personal beliefs on how we should discuss and represent religion in stories, and how we should be giving a broader spectrum rather than just giving one dimension of those beliefs or of people with those beliefs, that kind of thing. So yeah. If I Stay by Gail Forman. I think I already posted my video for this. I think I did. I think it was it the last video I posted? Maybe. I don't know. I swear it feels like it's been a million years in between the last time we spoke and now. I don't know what's happening in my brain. Anyways, this one, if you don't know what it's about, you must not have been in the book world when you were, or you must not have been in the book world at the time that this came out, because it was very popular. I feel like this was actually not terrible, and I was expecting it to be terrible. I didn't love all of the choices that were done, and I feel like there were some things we could have done differently to make this a bit more effective. However, it wasn't bad. One thing that I do have a complaint for is the fact that there is a sequel. That makes me very mad. There should not have been a sequel. The reason this ended the way it did was intentional, and she shouldn't have gone on the, oh, this is selling well, let me try to make another book hype train. Lastly, we have What Feasts at Night by T. Kingfisher, the sequel to What Moves the Dead. And I had an excellent time with this one. I started it a while back, but like I said, I've been in a slump, so then I kind of put it to the side and came back to it. And really focused on it, and I read aloud to myself a lot for this one. It really helped a lot. You could do that if you don't have audiobook, or if you don't want to go the audio route. Sometimes that doesn't work for me as well. Sometimes I need like the full immersive experience of me actually reading but also hearing, so that my focus is all there. Anyways, I don't know how to explain it. It just works for me. But this one was a great continuation. I loved that it was different enough, but similar enough to feel like a series and feel unified. The realism books. Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley. I loved a lot of this book. The concept was a lot of fun. The idea of this whole bookshop thing was great. Not everyone's gonna like the miscommunication aspect of this book. That is going to annoy some people. If miscommunication always bothers you, you're not going to want to read this book. But also, if it always bothers you in books, then I don't know how you can read any books, because all books incorporate miscommunication because it's part of life. That's how humans work. We try to express thoughts and feelings, and we don't always express it in such a way that the person that is listening can receive the same thoughts, feelings, emotions from it that we are giving, because they have had different life experiences than us. But rant aside, my biggest complaint with the end is just I just hate that we didn't have a better solution. That's what I'm going to say. I think there could have been a way easier and more functional solution to the whole thing in regards to the shop itself. For YA Contemporary, I did not hate it, and that is a win for me considering the fact that I have not been getting along with YA Contemporary nearly as much in the last few years. Moxie by Jennifer Matthew. I had an excellent time with this book. It was so much fun. Okay, it's set in a small town, and in this small town they have 2 fast food restaurants, Dairy Queen and Sonic. And I have a Sonic. We have 3 fast food restaurants. Wait, well technically 4 now. I keep forgetting that we upgraded to 4. We have Subway, Sonic, Hardee's, and the newest addition is Taco Bell. That's it. So I very much related to the cruising. There was this one part where they talked about what kids do for fun around here, because there's a new kid at the school, and she's like telling the new kid, what do you all, he's like, what do you guys do around here for fun? Everybody cruises the Sonic. You go cruise the Sonic, and you just drive around the Sonic and see who's there. I could not. Because it's so accurate. That's legitimately 100% what teenagers do here. I'm not even kidding. That is what teenagers do in this town. And if they're not cruising the Sonic, then they go to the square, and there's this little area in the parking lot close to like the gazebo, but not in the gazebo because that wouldn't be cool enough. So they're like in the parking lot, slightly away from the gazebo, and that's where they hang out. Right diagonal from the police station, so it's not like they're even doing anything dumb. I don't know. But yeah, I that resonated with me very well. Also, I loved the themes that this explored. I appreciated a lot of this book and what it did. It wasn't perfect by any means, and yes, it was over-exaggerated examples of certain things, and at parts of that frustrated me. It had this over-exaggerated representation of what life is like for small towns and what life is like in an area like this. It over-exaggerated extreme versions of things. A lot of the things that happen in this book cannot realistically happen in schools here. And people don't just get away with stuff like that. However, I understand the need to do that for the sake of the story that the author wanted to convey. So I understand why she had to make these extreme situations that are unrealistic, but it was frustrating that that was a part of the story, and it's not like there's a dedication or author's note that actually addresses the fact that it is extreme. The Masterpiece by Francine Rivers. Oh my goodness, I have not read anything by Francine Rivers except for Redeeming Love, and that was a long time ago that I read it. So I was so nervous going into another book by Francine Rivers, especially one that is not historical fiction, but is like contemporary fiction. I had an amazing time with this. It was really good. I listened to the audio. I listened to the audio, and this was actually quite awesome. It even represents spirit realm things that a lot of Christians are afraid to talk about, and a lot of denominations don't acknowledge the existence of. But she went there, and I love that she went there. It was great. I had an awesome time, and I definitely will be trying to read more from Francine. Now, side note about this book. Gamora one day, at the beginning of her time here, when my bookshelves were still on this side of the wall before we redid all of this, decided to try to pull this book off of my bookshelf. And instead of pulling the book off my bookshelf, she pulled the dust jacket and ripped it. So maybe I should tape it just so that I don't make it worse. But yeah. I used the audio to get through this more quickly. It wasn't that it's necessarily hard to read with your eyeballs, but it is long, and so it can be a little bit intimidating to read with your eyeballs at times. And also, like we've discussed, I have been in the slumpage, so. Okay. Wanted by Sarah Shepard. I finished the first 2 arcs of Pretty Little Liars, and I need to sit down and like take all the books out and like collect my thoughts and discuss them. I suppose because I was planning on doing a video series with it, and that's why I started them, and then I decided to make it a singular or just 2 videos type situation. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I think I need to make a video about arc 1 though, because what in the heavens? Oh my word. What is this? No, I hate the way that this went as opposed to the show. The show definitely wins a lot of points in my book for taking this concept and fixing the material. I'm very curious to see what they can actually, what could Sarah Shepard do to make a whole nother 2 arcs to the series. I don't understand at all. In a Dark Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. This is my 4th Ruth Ware. And I'm still here for Ruth Ware things. I just think that Ruth Ware is an author for me, and I just like her work. I like the way she writes. I did also attempt in DNF Before I Fall. I was gonna read that alongside or like right after If I Stay, and I absolutely cannot. It was gonna be a terrible life experience, and I'm not doing that to myself for the sake of content, since nobody watches my content. I'm just gonna read what I want to read and then make videos because I feel like making videos, not read because I want to make a video. Anyways, so then lastly we have the life-changing manga of Tidying Up, and this one is a reread for me. I needed a nonfiction, and I was gonna run out of time to finish Murfingo for the winter section, because it doesn't include December as part of the winter. Like that little section that is December winter is not included, I don't think, so I had to finish up that column. So I needed a nonfiction, and I needed something I could read really fast because it was the last day, and I was going to not have the ability to finish, so I had to pull it off. And that's it. That's all the books. That's everything that I have read since it became 2024. Up until the end of March. So I have read a few things since then, but we're not talking about those until the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, whatever time it is for you. Make sure you hit subscribe so that you can join the Bear Scouts and the notification bell so that I can see you again very soon. Peace out, Bear Scouts.
About your worries and your stress. I mean a bare necessity. That's why a bear can rest at ease with just the bare necessities of life. Yeah, with just the bare necessities of life.
Yeah, man.